Welcome to episode 7 of KnightTV. I'm John Klasen, joined by Ryan Podgorny.
We start this issue off by looking at the new Harry Potter store in downtown Chicago.
Associate producer Julie Hong gives us a look inside.
Well, if you're sure, better be Slytherin.
There is a new attraction in Chicago, and hint, both Muggles and wizards are allowed. A new Goblet of Fire themed Harry Potter store opened up on April 10th and is located on the Magnificent Mile. The store has brought crowds of fans for more than 3 weekends in a row. Store manager Jared knows the store is truly like no other.
Fans can expect an experience unlike most other retail experiences.
This store features more merchandise than you could ever think of, including Harry Potter crochet kits, figurines, stationery, and apparel. Along with its merchandise, there are also many Easter eggs from the movies that you can find around the store.
We have fashioned the store to resemble many of the Hogwarts locations. We have gotten official props from corporate things that were in the movie, things that are exclusive to Chicago, like the Skele-Gro and the slug repellent and Hagrid's oven mitts, other things in the store that are only going to be seen in Chicago in the Harry Potter store.
One of the biggest attractions is the array of wands offered at the store. There are wands from many characters, including Harry and He Who Shall Not Be Named. Superfan Janie has been waiting to get her hands on one of the many wands the store has to offer.
I have to say the wands. There's so many different kinds. There's a Chicago exclusive one. Super cool. It is in my bag currently.
For most people, this is more than just a store. Harry Potter holds feelings of excitement and nostalgia for many fans.
It's full of wonder. And magic, there's never a dull moment with any of the storylines. It's just always something to look forward to.
Fans fall in love with Harry Potter in so many different ways, whether it be reading the books as a child or discovering the movies as an adult. The magic and wonder of the stories can create connections and memories that last a lifetime.
So I actually had a slight learning disability with reading. So to get me to read, I had to find a good book, like my niche, right? So Harry Potter became that for me.
Prospect sophomore Denise Falconley found her interest in the Harry Potter series through bonding with her family.
What started my love was just watching the movie, because I know my mom watched it and she passed it down to me, and I know she loved it, and that made me love it because we just got to share that interest of it.
Fans come into the store being reminded of their favorite Harry Potter memories while also creating new ones.
Every day I share someone else's experience and how they learned about the store, or how not the store, but how they learned about the movies or the books, whether they shared them with their families. And at this point, it's old enough for parents to share it with their kids as well. So just the different ways people are learning about it and celebrating the Harry Potter store and the Harry Potter stories.
This is Julia Hong reporting for KnightTV.
Now we take a look at a rising star on varsity boys lacrosse.
Executive producer Constantine Romansky and KnightTV Live executive producer Ryan Podgorny tells us the story.
Freshmen on varsity often face many challenges: inexperience, lack of respect from others, size issues, and many others. Liam Finnemore, a freshman varsity lacrosse player, is among those facing challenges, and his biggest one, size. The average height for a high school boys lacrosse player is 5'11" to 6 feet. Liam stands at 5'10". This makes him often smaller than his opponents, which is a challenge. His coach, Tom Reesing, agrees that size is a challenge for Finnemore.
I think the biggest challenge for Liam is his size. So as a freshman and not the largest freshman, he's going against some big kids, and oftentimes his position, he's going against some of the larger kids on the team. Physically bigger, faster, stronger.
Although Finnemore acknowledges the issue of his size, he still thinks that it gives him an advantage in another way.
Yeah, I think some people might think of it as a disadvantage, being smaller, but I think of it is more of an advantage. I'm a little more shifty. I can get through, the bigger crowds easier, and I think that helps a lot, especially with getting the ball and then running it up the field.
Another common problem faced by freshmen on varsity is a lack of bond with the upperclassmen. They are the youngest and don't know many people. With that comes a harder time creating a bond with the rest of the team. Fenimore, however, does not face this problem.
He's got a few friends that are sophomores, and those sophomores are good friends with some of the juniors and so on. So really from top to bottom, our team is pretty tight, seniors to freshmen.
With a strong bond created between the players, trust comes with it. Junior Mike Grun trusts Liam.
Yeah, I trust him 100%. I think he's really good at lacrosse, and we all can trust each other on the field.
The recent game against Hersey was Fenimore's first game on varsity, and it was a difficult game. At the end of the first half, Hersey was up 8-0. Prospect managed to score 2 of their own goals during the second half, but Hersey ended up winning the game 10-2. Liam reflects on the game.
I think as a team we could have definitely done better. I think as a player I could have done better. I think I had my highs and I definitely had my lows. A few moments where it was just little mistakes and they ended up costing us. So I think that's just something I'm going to have to work on and definitely, do that. So
Reesing agrees that it was a tough game, but also defends Fenimore.
So Liam was put in a tough situation. He was put on one of their stronger attackmen, which is a tough role to play. And typically for us this year, he's played a position called LSM, which is the long stick midfielder. And we put him in at defense, closed defense, which is a slightly different role, a little different responsibility. And so I think just all that was probably a lot for him to handle, but he did a great job.
With how the season is going, Fenimore is hopeful for the future.
We have the potential to be, great, and I think we can do it. And I think give us, 2 weeks, and we will be in our prime.
It's a rule that's been in place for a long time, but freshmen still have questions. The closed study hall policy continues to limit what 9th graders can do and where they can go.
Like producer Sammy Cowles and staff reporter Samantha Crean take a deeper dive into this.
Freshmen at Prospect High School are required to stay on campus for their entire first year. That means they have to stay inside the school for study hall and lunch. During their lunch, they can stay in the supporting U room or the cafeteria, and they are also allowed to be in the library or classroom with a teacher as long as they have a written pass from them. The cafeteria is often crowded and loud. Freshman Gabrielle Kanya can relate. She says,
sometimes you don't have a place to sit, or you kind of have to go to the commons or the lunchroom, something like that, or you just sit in a classroom.
Dean Adam Levinson shares that the closed campus rule was made by the district, not the Prospect administration. The rule is to get the freshmen accustomed to the style of the flow of high school and help with the transition from 8th grade. Security guard Edward Cleveland gets to see firsthand the need for younger students to get acclimated to Prospect. He says,
freshmen coming from 8th grade, they have an opportunity to learn the school going into their first year before they have a chance to venture out as a sophomore, junior.
Levinson also believes that this is a necessary rule for freshmen and he wouldn't consider changing it. The school tested out an open campus policy for freshmen during the 2021-2022 school year. They did this so there wouldn't be so many students inside the school at one time during COVID. But that didn't work out. The students were being rambunctious and irresponsible when they were out in the neighborhood surrounding Prospect, resulting in a closed campus for the freshmen next year. Levinson says,
it's more of a maturity thing, it's more of a maturation thing. They want to make sure kids are here and accounted for.
After seeing the difference in behavior with students who are seniors versus freshmen, Michael Reedy, who teaches both, agrees that freshmen need to earn the privilege to leave campus. He says,
from an education standpoint, I think it's a benefit because coming into high school, they need to learn the new system that is high school and learning discipline and organization. Walking to McDonald's every day is not going to help them with those skills.
Having freshmen see their friends and other upperclassmen being able to leave for lunch and study hall without needing a pass could cause them jealousy. It may cause some negative emotions towards them. Reedy believes jealousy is a problem that occurs. Reedy says,
I think at some point there's probably some jealousy because they get to see the upperclassmen leave the building and go to McDonald's and Subway and everywhere else where they run rampant.
Seniors Sophia Zach and Finn Scoble can understand this issue, even though they didn't experience it firsthand due to their open campus freshman year. They see where the jealousy may play in. Sophia says,
to have a closed study hall, it's kind of fun because then you're forced to do your work and They wouldn't really be able to go out, I feel like.
But from a freshman's perspective, Kanya does get a lot of work done during her study hall and lunch period, although she sees it as exhausting not being able to leave. It feels like more work when you are forced to do it during a certain time. With freshmen not having the opportunity to go outside, work can seem larger than it actually is, according to Kanya.
Well, honestly, like, it's kind of draining for school because I want to go outside. I want to, like, get fresh air when it's nice outside. And it's honestly just kind of depressing being inside and I can't, like, do anything. I just have to sit and be quiet.
This is Sammy Coles and Samantha Crean reporting for KnightTV.
Finishing off today's episode, we take a look at Love Your Brain 5K.
Sports reporter Vincent Polis and KnightTV sports director Jack Clooney give us an inside look at the heart of 5K.
Get set!
Jay Heilman, a teacher at Prospect High School, has been planning and organizing the 5K since 2022, after he and his students heard about an Olympic snowboarder, Kevin Pierce, who was in a snowboarding accident prior to the 2010 Winter Olympics, which left him with severe traumatic brain injury.
It came about in 2022. It's based on a documentary that we watched in Psych 1. And so this documentary is called The Crash Reel. It's about a snowboarder who suffers a traumatic brain injury in 2010 training for the Winter Olympics. And my students were like, we want to do something.
Initially, Heilman's students wanted to set up a bake sale. However, Heilman wanted to go bigger than that.
Never even physically run a 5K. So I had no idea what went into it. I did a little bit of research online. I actually talked to our former SRO, school resource officer, Ms. Shaps, because she organized the 5K for the police called the 5K.
After the initial success of the 5K in 2022, Heilman decided that as long as his students remained interested,
then I'm just going to kind of step back. But if I propose it to them and they seem to be into it and want to, then I'll push forward.
a lot of students and teachers were at the 5K, and not many of them heard about it beforehand.
Know about it before your mom told you?
Nope, I did not.
Gleppold, a freshman who ran the 5K, recalled that it was only through his parents that he decided to do it.
How did you decide to do the 5K?
My mom just kind of asked me to do it, and so I'm like, I got nothing better to do.
Even though his parents essentially made him do it, he still liked participating in it.
Did you like the 5K?
Yeah, I liked it. I got to just talk with my family a lot.
For KnightTV, this is Jack Clooney and Vincent Poles.
Check ProspectorNow.com for loads of new stories, a news podcast about ASB's pickleball tournament, as well as a podcast interview with Chase Bandolik, ultramarathoner, making headlines for running 416 miles across Illinois in 10 days.
Once again, my name is John Klasen.
And my name is Ryan Podgorny, and thank you for joining us with episode 7 of KnightTV.